The Eagles bounce back in a big way against a bad Raiders team. Eagles win 31-0. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Philly Sports Now, a Philly fan podcast. My name is Zach. With me is Andrew. We're back to talk all things Philly sports now that I get a text message and look off screen right as we start. But now that the Eagles have gone and won 31 to nothing against the Las Vegas Raiders, Andrew in a sharp polo, love it. Uh, but the look, this game was exactly what we needed it to be. You couldn't go win a 24 to 21 game against the Raiders. For the Eagles fans to take a deep breath, which is exactly what I've seen in the past 2 days. It feels like it's been a week already. But in the past 2 days, I've noticed that most people are like, okay, this was much needed. And it was. You needed a big real-time win against the Raiders because of how bad they are. If you go and you squeak a win by, that just screams problems and you're just kind of getting by, which is a nothing team. This it goes back to the age old saying you win against teams that you're supposed to beat, which when that happens shows that there is a good system in place. And I just think I think we're still greasing the gears, man. I think we're still figuring it out. And this win, I mean, like I said, it was much needed. Huge comeback. Um, a comeback being the fact that we break a 3 game losing streak. And, now we have a win going into I think a more challenging situation than we might be willing to admit. You got I'm looking ahead already, but the Eagles going up against the Commanders, they do have Mariota in, which I guess they should blow him out of the water. But Washington Commanders already eliminated from the playoffs. That's when they have those games left though against the Eagles, a division rival, Washington Commanders against the Eagles in those games. Those are the games that it's their Super Bowl because why wouldn't it be? So they go all out. So I don't know. I think the next 3 games are going to be tough, especially the Bills. But we'll get there either later today or in another episode. Um, like I said, a lot to come through. Big win, Andrew. How do you feel after this win?
Yeah, this is everything we needed to see. Like you said, I mean, this is the game they needed to put together, and the Eagles did just that. I mean, from top to bottom, the offense, defense, special teams, it was a complete perfect game for this Eagles team, and I think the players needed it as well. I think the fans needed it. I think the coaches needed it, and I think it just gives everyone just a giant sigh of relief. And I think everyone was involved in this game. Dallas Goedert puts up 2 touchdowns. Brown has his touchdowns. Devontae Smith has 2 catches for 50 yards, second leading receiver on the team.
No
Tank
touchdowns.
Bigsby, Tank Bigsby gets 57 yards, and hey, even Tanner McKee comes in perfect 3 for 3. Um, no, and all jokes aside, the Eagles dominated this game, and from top to finish, you got you got out of it what you needed, and that was a win, and then that was uh, just all aspects of the game. And I think, the funny part is too, Hurts really should have been 13 to 15 with 4 touchdowns because Goddard drops that one that leads to a field goal,
That
and
was just
Goddard
wide open.
he could not have been more open. It could not have been put. It wasn't like Hurst threw it too hard. He
Mm-mm.
lollipopped it over perfectly. It was
It
just
was,
because the play call was so good, nobody was even near him.
yeah.
You
It
know what
was
his
just
equivalent to? I honestly felt like that pass
what?
was almost equivalent to the Philly special when it's just a lob and
Yeah,
Foles is just sitting there waiting for the ball, and
yeah.
somehow Goddard dropped it.
Like
Uh,
no actual no yeah. It was
yeah,
a
no defender there to even block it.
yeah,
Like,
nothing.
but anyway, no, I mean, yeah, the team came out and played, and it's cool seeing Brandon Graham have his big game since coming back with 2 sacks. So it's cool, even like he got to have that one game because I mean, obviously he's only playing like 10 snaps a game, if that, and certain points. So it was cool to in his 8 snaps, I think he was on the field for that game. They said he had 2 sacks, so
Did you
it's cool he
see
even had that one big moment.
franchise record oldest player to get a sack? I
Yeah,
mean that's awesome. That's awesome, dude. He looks great.
yeah, right. He does look good, and I mean, and another big thing too is these guys got to they got to get some rest in this game too. I mean, outside, well, I think Hurst threw the touchdown was the first, maybe second play of the fourth quarter, and then he sat the rest of the quarter. So they got to play 3 quarters, and they really just took the rest off. And I mean, that's big especially down the stretch here. And we talk about the offensive line being banged up a little bit, so it's good, to get them off their feet a little bit for
And
a
a short
quarter.
week.
Yeah, and a short week, which that was kind of funny. I don't know if you saw that. The team had no idea apparently.
They didn't know it
It
was a
was
Saturday game.
in Sirianni's press con or not press conference, sorry, in his locker room speech, whatever he did. He's like, I can't remember the way he worded it, but basically he's like, "Good win, guys. Let's get ready for the short week." And all of them just go, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, we play on Saturday."
That's funny.
So
They
they're already looking ahead of Washington. They're already
Yeah,
looking past.
that's
Nah,
that's I don't know. Like I said, I don't feel great about that because well, I don't want to get too into it. I don't want to get to it. We need to win those games. Like I'm not worried about the division. I think I saw
that's over.
the
So I got
Cowboys
the
have
champs title, division champs.
that's Andrew's ready. But that's what like I don't know. The Cowboys have less than a 1% chance. Like the Eagles would need to drop all three, I think is what it
And the
was.
Cowboys got to win all three.
And they have to win all
Yeah,
three. I don't
Magic
even know
numbers
who
one.
what is the
Magic
rest
numbers
of their
one. So
schedule.
they play the Chargers this week, so they very well could lose this week.
Oh,
And
I mean they have okay, yeah, but they're followed by Washington and New York. No, honey,
they
um,
lost. They
they're
lost to Minnesota though, so they could lose to anybody.
that's true. Oh my god, I just got static charged from the cat. Uh,
Yeah, that Minnesota game at home, that was a bad loss for Dallas.
I know that was awesome,
No, it was awesome. But yeah, so I mean, that basically, yeah, the
but that's
division's
what
over
like
now.
I don't think it's absurd to say Dallas could win out because I think Dallas does that bullshit where they pull out a win against a team they shouldn't. But I think they could lose against a team they
Yeah.
shouldn't too. Like I
Well,
think they could easily lose to Washington, let's say in 2 weeks, kind of a thing. Um, but like my whole point is I just don't want it to come to that. I'd rather the Eagles take it into their own hands. So just get another win. I'm sorry, I keep jumping ahead. I do want to talk about this game. It's just hard when this game was such a pushover game. It's really I feel like most we're taking out of this is vibes and mentality. So I am gonna go a little bit into not a stats section here, but a little more X's and O's, I guess I'll say. But Andrew, how'd you feel about Kevin Petulu today? Petula?
yeah,
Petula?
again, I think he has really made adjustments the last two games, and I talked about it in the loss to the Chargers, and the one we did there. And I know it sounded crazy, but I thought the play calling was a lot better in that game. It just wasn't executed with the turnovers, and all the drop passes in that game. So I think in this game, again, I get it. Obviously, it's the Raiders, but it was the same thing. It was similar to what you saw a week ago against the Chargers. You had Hurts running the ball a little bit more. He goes for 39 yards on 7 carries, and he would have done more if he played the fourth quarter. So I think that's a perfect number because you're looking at, let's just say he gets 3 or 4 in that fourth quarter. You're looking at about 10 carries. I think that's perfect for Hurts. And then you mix in a lot of play action. The one Goddard dropped, that was a play action pass. And you saw the one on to Brown in the fourth quarter, just down the middle. So again, I think I thought the last 2 weeks, it's everything you wanted. We've been waiting for this year, honestly, from the play calling standpoint. And why did it take this long to start doing these things? Nobody can answer that except them. But I think these last 2 weeks have actually been different. I think you've seen it with the energy of the players too. I mean, you saw the emotion from Hurts on that touchdown pass to Brown and the excitement he had. So again, I don't know what happened these last 2 weeks. And I know obviously you dropped the Chargers game, but these 2 weeks just seemed different to me, and it truly did. And maybe it's the positivity bunny.
The positivity bunny. I think after talking about, Kevin Patullo changes and, the Eagles having a better attitude going in these two games, Andrew mentioning even with the Chargers loss, it just feels like they had a better game. It feels like an up and up moment. Now, I'm not going to sit here. I guess we won't talk Washington anymore, but kind of just the rest of the season. Andrew, I do like I don't think we're going to catch up to the Rams. Do you?
No, I mean they'd take it there.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's 100%. Like, I think statistically the Eagles could take the postseason or take the number one still, right?
Yeah, that's why I just think it's take a miracle at this point. I mean, because well, sorry, the Rams maybe yes, it'd take a miracle to get the 1 seed because of all the hurdles you'd have to get through. Because like the Bears are still ahead of you, and you lost that tiebreaker.
Oh,
Depending on what happens, depends what happens in the Bears Packers game. Packers are actually ahead of you, but they give all the division winners the better seed. So really, you got to jump the Bears Packers. And then you also got to look at if the Rams lose. If you look at San Francisco and Seattle, they also only have 3 losses. So like the Eagles to get the 1 seed is a very tough spot because of the way the playoffs break down. Like again, the Eagles are the 3 spot because the division winners get put there. But if you look at it, if you're going straight record, the Rams are better, the Bears are better, Seahawks are better, 49ers are better, and Packers are better. So really you got to jump on those 5 teams.
It's pretty wild looking at all the NFC divisions and realizing that the Eagles with 9-5 are like the lowest of the winners. Like the NFC got
Second, yeah,
tough. The NFC got
second.
tough this year, huh?
Yeah, no, it really has. I mean, and
I
the
feel like last
Buccaneers,
year the only real competition was Jaden Daniels, Washington, the Detroit Lions, and I'm missing someone, but I feel like it was really just 4 teams, and 2 of them came out of the NFC East.
yeah, no, for real. And we talked about it coming in this year. We thought the Packers would be better than the Lions, but I don't think anybody saw the Bears jumping up to the spot. And that's
Yeah.
what's going to be. That's why I'm curious how the Eagles manage the rest of this season. Because that's played out theoretically. Let's say the Eagles beat Washington, you clinch the division. How much hope do you have for that 1 seed? Do you start resting people against the Bills? Like we
I
already talked
think
about a banged up offensive line. I'm not saying you rest everybody, but I think you be strategic with it with the offensive line, getting some of those guys more rest. Like
yeah,
hypothetically, if we win this weekend, I don't want to see Lane Johnson playing in the last 2 games. There's no
agreed.
reason to. Like
Very all
so,
right.
obviously, again, we're jumping the gun. We're jumping the gun here. You got to get out and beat Washington first. But these like it's gonna be a weird end of the year because of the spot the Eagles are in right now.
But I think this game matters way more than we're ready to admit because, like you just said, you clinched the division with this win, correct? And I, I, you took it before I could get there, but like I would absolutely bench Lane Johnson the rest of the year. No reason he's playing against the Bills or Washington again. Um, the offensive line, as you said, play a little bit of hot potato, musical chairs. Start some people, don't start other people, switch the next game or something like that. I don't know. You don't want people to get rusty, but you also don't want
Yeah.
them to get hurt. So I think the offensive line, you do some, moves. However, as far as the starting lineup, I want everyone else starting against the Bills because I do like I think when it comes to the actual offense, they I don't want to tend I don't like trying to think I know what people are doing, but I think they're going to get a little cocky if they get benched against the Bills. And I don't want that. So like
See,
I
yeah,
think
the
you
only reason
start
I
them
think
against
they
the
won it is because of how bad the last month's been. Like if you're
true.
riding high and you're 10 or you're 12-2, and then you're getting yeah, you're like okay, look how good we are. But like I don't think they can do that after losing the
Yeah.
3 games that they lost. But
But that's it. I definitely start the regular starters against the Bills. That last Washington game, not a single starter is playing. I don't care,
that's the
offense,
Tanner
defense.
McKee game.
Yeah, yeah, first start. Dude, forget Tanner McKee. Who's third string? Start him.
Sam Howell.
Yeah, yeah, get him in. Get him some reps. I absolutely am not starting anyone against Washington in the last week if the Eagles have their win secured.
Hey, and that's it's gonna be interesting because to your point, technically you are mathematically still available to get that. And like, how much do you care about 2 versus 3? Like, it does become a strategy game. Like, because who do you want to play that first round? That's what you have to look at too. Like, maybe you'd rather play the 3 because you want to face whoever the 6 seed is, or you want to move up to 2. So I mean, that's obviously comes down to the coaching aspect of it and how much chess versus checkers they want to do. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting last few weeks. But yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully, you're able to get it done. It's gonna be weird being on a Saturday game, but
Yeah, I know it will be weird. I'm not, I'll watch it somehow. But well, well, I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you everyone for listening to Philly Sports Now, a Philly fan podcast. You can find us on social media, description below. Check for links. I said that wrong, but it's fine. Yeah, I think good wrap up here is it was a good win against the Raiders, well needed. Couldn't drop this one, couldn't make it dirty. Had to get a nice big win, and a 31 blowout is a great one. So glad to see it. Stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't, and watch or follow on Spotify. Thank you everyone for listening, Philly Sports Now, and as always, go Birds. Good night.